just going to take another little trip on the Big Island down to the falls. Along the way there's a large stand of bamboo. It's a gorgeous, lush valley, tropical valley, covered with all kinds of trees and ferns, bamboo. With the various flowers as we go on. We find impatiens down here. This has the feel of the rainforest. Hawaii has some of the best fresh water for drinking you can find anywhere in the world. Looking on the other side of the bridge, we see the brook going down that way. We really don't know. We're only guessing this is another banyan tree, but it's gigantic in the amount of area it takes and how tall it is. Right down here by the stream, and everywhere is this native fern, which has a way of covering the sides of the hills, making a ground cover and retards erosion. Plus the giant fern is also seen here, perhaps very much like the ones in New Zealand. There's a great crop of rhododendron there, which you can buy at home and grow inside. We've been having a lot of rain, and the water, which normally probably would be crystal clear, has a lot of red dirt in it. Volcanic, iron-bearing dirt. That's quite a large waterfall indeed. Makes quite a rumble. This is the real Akaka Falls. It's really quite a large falls, and with all the rain we've had, it must be running pretty much at full speed. Well, we'll go ahead and take a look what's happening ahead. It's really a large fall and hard to get the whole thing into perspective. then we have quiet little nooks like this.
And they're not made in Taiwan. You get a bird with every basket. Right here next.
Isn't it a beautiful bird?
The bird, the other is an angel bird.
This is an angel fish? Okay. This must be the grasshopper.
That's right. You gotta decorate, if you stock my animals, they grow quite quickly there, so. Somebody definitely wants to pick this guy up, and then I gotta start all over again. Hard to keep up once in a while. It's just...
Made out of coconut palm.
Tip his wings here. Fly too far. He should have got his tail all dressed up with a little. Take off a little bit of the backbone here. Make a little. That's a shopping holder, huh? Some little legs here.
This man said that his grandfather taught him this art, and he wants to keep it alive. Using bamboo leaves, he continues to make hats and bowls and other things and sells them right on the spot here.
Then there's a little bit more easier to get food around here.
Right. Thanks.
Sure.
How does sugar cane compare to the cutting?
Cutting, you mean
Cut of the stalk.
a little bit hard. But with a shot hose, gets out. Sugar cane, the leaves are sharp. It gets spicy if you rub it wrong.
I think he's making a bowl.
I mean, you won't notice it, but they will have sharp edges unless you run your finger on it and get feel it. about a Budweiser salary cap. Super Bowl time.
I'm going to go back to Pennsylvania and make them back there. That's why I'm taking this
Okay,
picture.
just don't forget to write me for the kit. If you look in the tour magazines called Big Island Gold on page 74. If you in the corner side of the island, west side of the island, you have a Big Island Visitor Information Channel, Channel 8. I'm on there. Big Island is the best of the Big Island. Free plug-in. But I do have video.
He's making a bowl.
Telecom boy.
And that's the base of the bowl.
Anyway, so mail me a round trip ticket. I'll be right in your classroom. I'll come right back. Just give me a nice room to sleep in, something warm to cuddle with, a couple of meals, a round trip ticket. Allergic to cats? No. As long as they're not over 20 at one time in one room.
That's what this will end up to be. We've just stopped along the way here, along the road, looking out at sugarcane fields which have been abandoned because of the cost of producing. Because of the cost of producing sugarcane, they've abandoned these fields and just let them go. The world market can't sustain the cost of doing sugarcane here in expensive Hawaii. Joe? And here we have a picture of Joan eating green tea ice cream, a specialty of the islands, I'm told. Is it good? This is a small wood gallery and art gallery. Actually, they have many things, but this is a bowl made of Norfolk pine, one made of lychee wood, sugi pine, koa, another one of koa. That's a beautiful dark koa bowl. The koa wood comes in so many different shades and grains. Yeah, that's macadamia. That's the first piece of that kind I've seen. Lovely. Like you say, it looks like snakeskin. It takes a lot of macadamia.
It's so, the trees are not that big.
Oh, they are not?
No, the trunks of the trees are not much. This is a very big piece to get a jewelry box out of it.
Oh, I didn't know. I thought they were large trees.
No, they're not. They're not that thick, the trunks. So this is a special piece.
Mm-hmm.
And it hasn't been jointed, so it's come from a very large macadamia nut tree.
It's another beautiful bowl. Another Norfolk pine bowl. And there is a huge koa pot. I mean, it's beautiful. Koa has so many different colors in its grain. Beautiful. Very large, about almost 2 feet across. I must correct that. This is a mango wood bowl. Mango wood. Did you say this was made by a man who had...
He lived here in Hawaii and he's since immigrated to New Zealand, but he's actually in the Guinness Book of Records for the world's largest calabash. was not turned on a lathe. It was done by, I guess, the Asdid out. This was done on a lathe.
This had to be done on a
Yeah,
lathe
this
because
was
it's
done on a lathe.
Yeah.
But the one that's in the Guinness Book of Records was actually carved out.
hewn out. Yeah.
Is that what it's hewn out? Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, that's
whatever.
Correct.
Well, that's a lovely piece.
I love that. That's,
I'm sure that was not cheap for you to secure.
no.
Up again,
Oh, okay. So you're ready to start again.
I hope. Outside of Kono is this beautiful bay. If it were sunshiny, we would be able to see a little bit better, and there is a tropical gardens down there. We won't go down, but the scenery here in this cove that comes in is just astonishing, and the waves are crashing in very high. Out to the Pacific. No, honey, don't jump, don't! Please! We're at the southern end of the island of Hawaii, and at this tip is the place where in 1983 the volcano erupted, major eruption, and cut off this highway, which is Route 130. Used to go right down along the coast, and the lava flows, now only what, 13, 14 years old, cut it off, and we'll walk up onto that lava flow at this point. It's all cooled off, we think.
Road.
It's a pretty foreboding place. It's amazing. That even here in this incredibly scary place, plants begin almost immediately to grow. The ferns come out of the ground, out of the cracks of the lava.
Rain over
Yeah. Just about as far as the eye can see.
lava.
Well, you can drive through it if you have a truck.
Kind of what I want to do. This gentleman said that
Oh, wow. You'd be surprised. You go to Waikiki, looking off to the ocean, the direction in which gravity pulled that lava, we just see huge mounds of it all the way down to the ocean. It's a kind of a cloudy day again today, but you can see what destruction it brought. There used to be houses, and this two-lane highway used to go through this area, but no more now. Here's a low area which, for some reason or other, didn't get covered with the lava. We are in the rain, and we're here at the black sand beaches where the lava's come down to the ocean, and right there is an example of totally black sand, but it's so pretty. The water is rough and it's raining, so just a short shot here on the southern island, on the southern part of Hawaii Island. Continuing on the south end of the island, we have this incredible scene where palm trees and other tropic vegetation come right down to the ocean, but where the beach is all lava. Such a lovely place, we could stay here for hours.
Ooh, Vicky, you want to see these?
I have one.
Isn't that beautiful?
This is red ginger. And these are anthuriums.
Thank you.
Now where's she going? Yeah, I got a good close-up.
Yeah.
Very good close-up. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that'd
Thank
be
you.
all nice to see.
Yeah, that will be very pretty. We are now on volcano Kilauea, and we've just seen some orientation films, and we've right around the visitor center there are a number of steam vents like this where the rainwater and other water comes along and turns into steam. We tried to get housing here, but it's booked many, many weeks in advance. And that's right in front of us.
Miles to Thurston Lava Tube. Then you gotta walk it back.
Oh, it would. No. There is the main crater. You can see the steam vents all through the floor of this crater. This is the island of Hawaii. It's called the Big Island. It's the volcano island. At the top is a dormant volcano about 13,300 feet high. At the bottom is another dormant volcano, which is 13,600 feet high. And here at this point is where we are right now. This is an active volcano, and we are on the, actually we're in the caldera of this volcano right here at this point. Somehow we're getting out of focus. We're in the, right in the caldera, right there at Volcano House, which isn't on here, but we are there, and we hope to drive around the crater. What we've just seen outside are the steam vents of this active volcano, which erupted at this point right here, I believe, in 1984 in a major eruption, and is continuing to pour out lava in different places. We began our trip. We flew in to Kona which is on this side of the island. And we drove up around the top and ended up over here in Hilo. And now we're driving down this way. We've been down to the coast. We drove back and we're coming and we're staying here overnight. 1982 and 1983, there were major eruptions.
I don't think so. Not 126.
And we're beginning a crater drive which starts here at the Sulphur Banks. Steaming sulfur rocks in a circle here. We do not have smell-o-vision, but if we did, you'd have this unpleasant sulfur stench in this picture coming out of the ground. And there's a tourist finding her way across the sulfur beds in great danger as we see the steam coming up all across the area. Now safe in her space capsule, safe from the dangers of explosion. Here is one of the vents, a vent that comes right out of the ground from which this sulfur gas keeps pouring out. And there are many of those along here. The clouds have been rising a bit, so we get a quick view of Mauna Loa, the highest of all the mountains here in Hawaii, and that's 13,600 feet high. We're on the Crater Rim Road, and Thomas Jaggers was one of the first guys who came in any scientific way to examine how these volcanoes work. There's a museum in his name. Came around the early 1900s. Wow. There seem to be steam vents all across the caldera and down into the crater itself. Also on the floor of the crater there are steam vents. There's a sulfur vent on the far side of the crater.
Is that happening right now?
Proceeding on Crater rim road, we've come to the rift where the pressure inside the earth tears the earth open. This is on one side of the road and this is on the other side. Obviously there have been flows here in recent years. With the crater straight ahead of us, there's all this debris. Some is collapsed in upon it. Obviously the lava, which we can see there, came across the road, burned up the road at that time. And just continued on as far as the eye can see. We've come around the rim from that observatory where we just were in the museum, and now we are right at the very edge of the rim of this volcano. And there's that sulfur pit, that sulfur vent that we were looking at before. What an awesome thing. Right in the middle of the crater is a steam vent constantly venting. This area is strewn with some large rocks like this, as well as many smaller ones. Over on that side are other vents and like very active places where we are not to go. Perhaps it's unsafe. I'm on this edge of the rim, and it appears that there's a crack that runs along this edge of the rim where the steam is coming out, and perhaps that whole section could slide into the crater at any time. I'm standing right at the edge of the crater here. No fence or anything between me and the edge. And again we see the steam vents and the fissures going all through. I had to step over a wide one to get here, and the rim all around. It's awesome. And that sulfur vent there. There on the floor, a long ways away, there are cracks and fissures everywhere. It's about 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and the wind is very strong from behind me. We've been driving Crater Road, and there's one crater after another on this road, many of them with what appears to be very fresh lava. Sometimes they're dated 1984, 1983, 1972, and then it drops off immediately to the lowlands there. And if you can see through the mist, there's the seashore right over there. And we're heading down to where the lava flows right to the seashore. Awesome sight here. We've just come down from the volcano crater, which was about 3,500 feet, and we're down at sea level now, where the lava has flowed down right into the ocean. And the ranger said that about 600 acres, approximately a square mile, has been added to this island as a result of the recent flows in the last few years. And here's where the lava and the ocean meet. The lava arch there was built a few years ago, I'm sure, with the water and the hot lava pouring over the edge and all the way down the coast as far as you can see. Looks like some type of large swift. Water goes out, you can see the black sand beaches. Looking straight down over the ledge. That's what you see. In fact, the camera sees things I don't even see because I'm holding it out over the water. Far over on the mountain, you see the slip where the lava is flowing down, even now, to the ocean. We're going to go up and see if we can catch any of it, up there where the steam vent is. Just ahead of me is a large mound of lava, as though it got stuck here and just piled up. Getting a close look here at this mound of lava. You see how it crusts on the outside and then how it's so porous on the inside down into the middle, and how there where it's bubbled out it's kind of reddish in color. Marvelous. This morning we were on the other end of this road where the 1990 lava flow cut off the road, and it's a number of miles between here and there. And it's evening of the same day, the 22nd, and we're on this end of the lava flow where earlier we saw the great plume of smoke, steam going up. We're going to see if we can see any live lava flows here. Even though it's raining, we're going to give it a try. It's about 6:15 in the evening. We've come right to the point at the ocean here where the lava has come down. And there are supposed to be points here where it's actually boiling into the sea, but we can't get close enough to do that, we see in the distance a place apparently where a large flow of it is constantly flowing into the ocean. If we could stay after dark, we might see some red glow here and there, but we probably can't do that. Very dangerous. We've come about a nearly quarter of a mile up the lava flow, and it's quite dangerous.
Please. Flapping in the breeze. Does it screw on?
Though we neither see nor feel any hot lava, it may be around and no one knows for sure. All of that lava has flowed down there and hardened, causing the coastline to be extended many, many yards. Al?
Weather wasn't like this in Maui.
No, it certainly wasn't like this in Maui.
Hey, papaya. I'm papaya.
She did good. She did good. Oh boy, yes, she did really good. All right, we have a bit of a ride now. Nope. It's morning here and it's raining. We're on Volcano, about 3,400 feet high, and we've stayed overnight here at Hale Kilauea House. Hale means house, and it is an absolutely lovely place. Just get a real quick shot of it here. Morris Thomas is the builder and the owner. He grew up here in Volcano, and he's probably about 35 years of age, has a Japanese wife, worked in Saudi Arabia and Alaska, made enough money to get himself established here, and has built an absolutely gorgeous building. The old building used to be over there, is over there, and is also used as a bed and breakfast. That's his rainwater collection system with, and that's all that he uses for all of his supply here. There's no other water available. Everything is green and lush and beautiful. They get 125 inches of rain here per year. The volcano is over in that direction where we were yesterday, and it could erupt at any time, but it's very peaceful here and very quiet. It's in a little town called Volcano Village. 3,000 or 4,000 people scattered throughout the hills that make up this area. And let's just go inside for a moment. It's a mixture of German workmanship and Japanese decor. It's a beautiful wood stove in the corner, which keeps this nicely decorated living room toasty warm. Everything is just elegantly done. And Grandma's getting the girls some food. This is our hostess with her little sweet baby.
These are my angels. Aren't you? They're not very small. And what kind of turkey you make?
She's a little dolly.
It's sweet.
Yep. And all kinds of goodies around with a beautiful table set. Our bedroom is made up of two very, very comfortable beds and our own bath, of course, and our own nice little closet with nice carpet on the floor. Everything is super comfortable. The temperature here is about 60, 65 degrees, but everything's fine. And the decor is oriental, and beautiful artistic things are found in the room. Let's stay here for another 3 or 4 nights, but it's off to a helicopter ride this morning. And this morning, around the bed and breakfast table, we had a bunch of people from different places, from Alberta, Canada, and from California, and from Washington State, and seems to me someplace else, Oklahoma, and we had a wonderful time around the table. I'm out here at the airport and getting ready to take a helicopter ride. Somebody's warming his little single-engine plane up. They keep stuffing these sardine cans with people and sending them out away. We're about ready to take off. We're hovering. on the southern part of the island, where the wind apparently blows a lot of the time, and only a tiny amount of the electricity used on the island is developed by this farm of windmills, which stretches a long way down, and it appears that there are 3 tiers of them going off in the distance. I'm told they're very hard to maintain. You can hear the generators whining. We're at the southernmost point of the United States of America, and we're told that it's at this point where the Polynesians first landed, probably a millennium ago. The wind is constantly blowing from the north, the point where all the trees lean, actually north and east, north and west, the point where all the trees lean south and west. I'll walk on down there. Because of rain, we're going to shorten our stay here, but we are at the southernmost point. That means South Point, I guess. A modest little place, I tell you. To get an idea of what I meant about the trees, the wind blows so hard here at South Point because it's going around the big 13,000-foot mountain. You see, all the trees are leaning to the south. It isn't much of a complex. It's a Hawaiian lady and her daughter living in a ramshackle house with an information center, where we were just now. But it is a national landmark. Let's go down to the other side and see what it's like. So you're just getting started. Do they still drop boats down from the cliff here? Is that right? Those are the boat hoists, where they drop boats over the cliff. What kind do you catch here?
Whatever bites.
Whatever bites. We're still at South Point, and there's a high cliff here, probably 30-40 feet down to the water, and the original inhabitants here used to hoist their boats down from here, and apparently the more modern ones do too, if they really want to go out and do serious fishing. Again, the wind blows like crazy here. I have a hard time even standing up along this section. There's a serious photographer doing her work, staying back from the edge a little bit. And up the coast, you see, it's lava, 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 lava. I think it's older lava. One final shot here, over to the fishermen as they're preparing their hooks, lines, in this windy, errant place. It's Sunday afternoon, and we had a good church service this morning. We'll get a picture of that church later on. And then we came down to this public park. It's a state park, and as you can see, it's a great beach, about a mile long, and people are having a great time. Many interesting scenes. Joan is the fish in our family, and she just loves it out there. I'm not too excited about it, but I'm going to try and get in there too. So we've got late afternoon sunshine, and it's beautiful. Over on the other side, there's a cove, and there's a hotel there. The rest of it's pretty much lava, as you can see here. It's evening, and we're starting to wind up as we look out over the bay. It's Hapuna, H-A-P-U-N-A, Bay, looking right into the sun. This is a state park, and they put in pavilions, bathrooms, and made it very, very comfortable. Even have a place where you can wash off. And there is a mongoose out for his evening snacks, checking out the trash, and so on. In spite of what the warning says, there was a lifeguard on duty today. These buildings are built of lava rock, which is in great abundance in this area. I'm not sure if that's a mynah bird. We really do hate to leave. Beautiful spot. Most people have left. It's about 75 degrees and the water is about 75 or 80. The close of a great afternoon. See the amazing root structure of this tree, and I don't know what kind it is. Evening settling on the South Pacific.
Isn't it beautiful?
And the locals, they don't pay any attention to it.
That's always true wherever you go.
Well, if I lived here, I'd pay attention.
Yeah, I think I would too. But I've been other places where the locals, just take it for granted.
It's certainly beautiful. It's so beautiful.
I'm going home on Tuesday. No point in saving it.
And my son says when that goes down, sometimes there's a little blue flash at the very last. It goes up above that when it goes down, but I've never been able to see it.
We'll take a look.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm glad we stayed for that.
it's beautiful.
It's burning a hole in the ocean.
Yes. It's on its way to another side of the world. Here it goes. That's it.
You see it sizzling?
Yeah, sizzling. And there she goes. Have you seen any whales since you've been here? How long will you folks stay?
Well, we're leaving Tuesday. It'll be 2 weeks. On Tuesday, we
nice.
spent 1 week on the.
Where's your tan? 2 weeks.
The weather's been horrible.
Well, you're right. We
It's
came
been
Wednesday, and
The banyan tree outside of our motel room here at Uncle Billy's in Kona is so large that it's almost impossible to grasp it, even with a wide angle. We've decided to go to breakfast here. It's quite an interesting place. The blue marlin is caught off the shores. I guess this is why they call it paradise. We're suffering here at Shipwreck Point. At Shipwreck Point. Down toward the south, looking out over the Kona Harbor. Very beautiful setting here. Men doing business, families enjoying themselves. There are a lot of lava rock and lots of coral reefs around these islands. Parasailing is a rather popular sport here, as we can see. Somebody's starting early in the morning. Pulled by a powerboat out in front. That must be quite a bit of fun. On this busy thoroughfare in Kona, Big Island, Hawaii, is the First Church. Congregationalists came from Boston in 1823 to establish the Christian faith here, and we're going to go over and see it. King Kamehameha was the king at the time the missionaries arrived. It is an active church which preaches the gospel. Mokuaikawa means the place where the trees were cut down and we had some food. It was on the Thaddeus that the missionaries came from Boston to Big Island. The story of King Kamehameha is an interesting one because I think he was the one who united the islands, and when the missionaries came he was converted soon, and he became a strong Christian and began to follow the things of Christ. His wife didn't become a Christian right away, but later on she did, and became a strong supporter of the gospel and the distribution of Bibles to the natives of the islands. These were called the Sandwich Islands. They were so named by Captain Cook, world traveler who discovered many places in the name of England. He named these islands after the Earl of Sandwich, and his fate was that he was killed by the natives down the road a ways here after coming here for, I think, his first visit. There we note on this contract that the Sandwich Islands are the destination of the Thaddeus. The names of the people, there were, I think, 27 adults altogether and 5 children. All the adults had to be married. When they arrived, they were to pay $100 per adult and $50 for each of the 5 children who were on board. That's the contract enlarged for the wall. And here in this room, it's very interesting that God's people have continued now 175 years to preach the gospel. The pastor who is here is faithful to the word. He's a Fuller graduate. We worshiped with them yesterday and found that the people of God are active. It is a United Church of Christ. We understand that that particular denomination is more conservative here than in other places, and we have been encouraged by not so much the depth of the ministry, but the commitment to Christ and to the things of God. This beautiful koa table was made by the present pastor, who was born and raised here in the Hawaiian Islands, and who went to Fuller Seminary and is a graduate thereof. Now, these dear folks started up here in Boston, and they traveled all the way down south, around South America, around the Cape Horn, all the way up through the southern Pacific, past the Galapagos Islands, and out here to the islands of Hawaii. We figured, as I talked with a man yesterday, that they must have gone close to 20 or 25,000 miles in all that travel. And not anyone on the boat died of exposure or hunger or sickness in their 164 days of travel. We often complain about a 10-hour or 5-hour jet flight and the jet lag that follows. What must it have been like? After his conversion, the king ordered that the idols of the gods of his people be burned. They were all made of wood. Some of them were very large, we were told. And that the temples be torn down And then when it was time to build this church, this is the third structure. The first was too small, and the second burned down, and this is the third structure. When this building was built of lava rock, those rocks that used to be made of used to make up the pagan temples were brought in and were used to build this building. With the airport on the other side of the road down by the beach, by the seashore, we look all around and we see coral rock, lava rock everywhere, all around us here. As far as you go on this road, about another 20 miles, it's the way it is. And people have immortalized their names and made little markers. We might call it graffiti. Using coral rock on top of the lava. I guess somebody made the sign of a man there, and it's kind of deteriorated over the time. This is the first sight we saw when we left the airport, and we said, "Oh, what a dreadful island." Willard's name is falling apart, and then we have a gully here where the lava has parted. This is very old lava, as I understand it, and it goes on for a long ways. This is a beach toward the north end of the island, and we're going to try it. Another magnificent beach. With the Hilton Hotel up there. We're going to just take a shot here of the canoers. Here at this beach they have a number of the Hawaiian style canoes. They're not made of one large log, they're really made of fiberglass, but they teach people here how to paddle them, and they have periodic canoe races, so this is what they're doing out there right now. It's a beautiful place, but the beach isn't terribly comfortable. A lot of rocks. It's our final evening here, and we're on a lookout point here, a scenic point, where you see the lava in the foreground and the Pacific Ocean looking out to the west in the distance, panning around.
See the whales out there?
I don't see any whales.
They're straight out next, as far as I know, yeah.
Uh-huh.
We looked at the map and there's no roads down
Yeah.
there. I mean, there must be a road to your houses down there.
Somewhere down there. I can't see him right now, but
There you go.
there he is. Yeah, there's he. Okay. Huh. Have you seen him breach?
I saw him skyhawk once.
Uh-huh.
Before we got here, I kind of noticed it.
Isn't that something? Yeah.
Houseboat out there.
Mm-hmm.
But,
Thank you. I won't hold you up. And then we pan out over the beaches up that way, and we were up in that direction for most of the afternoon. And there's the great mountain Mauna Kea up there, 13,000 foot mountain. And looking off into the distance, we see a landscape that's very interesting. That's gotten us around for the last week. We're watching the whales. It's a large distance away, but they are there. There he goes, blowing. Well, well, at least we got a chance to see whales at a distance. He didn't quite breach, but it looks like he kind of up and flopped his tail. The Great Pacific. And there we are, coming in for a landing.
Attention all passengers. Due to enhanced airport
And we're coming into a nice smooth landing. Look at that. Boy, that was very easy. Yep.